Yo, what's up? Let me explain something to y'all. If you don't already understand and comprehend what's going on and the nature of what it is that we deal with out here, you gotta check it out like this. We, as in black people, as in people who are from the earth, the melanated people, not the people who have gotten a little bit bronzed from the sun, but actual black Pan Africans, the African diaspora, if you will. What we have to comprehend is that we have been under attack since before what you comprehend and what you have been taught as civilization. You go back and you predate the the power of Mother England. You predate the Roman Empire. You predate the Greek Empire, right? And of course, if you did that, you have to predate the rise of Islam in the Arab countries and how they also subjugated us, our people. What you have to comprehend is that if it was so easy, if it was just as easy as, just do the right thing. Thousands of years ago, the right thing would have been done. The right thing will not be done. We have been dispersed. We have been attacked on every side. We have been intentionally raped of our talents, our gifts, our abilities. Our land has been subjugated, meaning Mother Africa has been under all sorts of foreign rule, which is how our continent has gotten in such a mess and how things got so spread out and so ugly in Mother Africa is because of the infectious ways of the imperialistic colonizers who have been attacking us for as long as our DNA can remember. So, well, not that's actually not true. Not as long as our DNA can remember, but as long as we can consciously put together, I should say, and certainly um, substantiate through historical record, because so many of our records, as we know, were destroyed and they were Europeanized, right, or whitewashed, and our history and our culture and the truth of who we are was hidden intentionally and covered and erased and plagiarized and so on and so forth. And now we stand here spread out across the world, and we are still told that we're the problem, that we're violent, that we're criminals, that we're this, that we're no good, that we're lazy. Well, if we're all of that, then why won't the Europeans let us go? Why won't they just let us do what we do? Let us build. Leave us alone. You don't even have to like us. Just leave us alone. Why can't you leave us alone to build ourselves? Why were you only with the plans that you push forth in the names of such things as segregation, and then you merged and then evolved into civil rights, where you had our people believing in a system in which we would ask our oppressor to be equal and ask our oppressor to look at us and see us as beautiful and give us value. We have intrinsic value. We don't require that another recognize who we are, what we are, or how beautiful we are. That's not for you to decide. We are God's elect. We are God's children. We are born of God, of the Creator. So there's nothing that another culture, race, or people could say to another that gives them any more value than they already hold. So we never needed your equal civil rights. We only asked for basic human rights, that we are allowed to be human and to fulfill our lives as we see fit in the earth, as the creations of the true and living God. And that's it. That's all. You want to water us down and fill us up with your nonsense religions, your institutions of government and politics, your institutions that are founded in false and degrading methods of civics, and your capitalism and how you keep us down and held down through these systems, your systems of education, of blind justice that you call it, of law. All of these things work against my people, our people. And it's all set up in that way. Your foods that you make sure are stocked with plenteous and plentiful storehouses that poison us, that captivate and steal and pull away from our human ability and our mental abilities and faculties to think. You teach us to obey in your schools, in your halls, in your religious organizations and edifices, even the ones where you put black faces in so that we'll trust. But knowing that, just like entertainment, just like sports, just like, all of these things where you give us leaders and you give us people to aspire to, these are not our people that are speaking for us. These are not our people that are speaking for our greater good. With the billions and billions of dollars that these people have been granted by your system, we would have already been able to effectively succeed from your union. But we haven't. And what does that say? That's because you have set these people up and these false leaders in front of us so that we continue to have a sense of false hope. And every generation not only finds ourselves where the last was, but we find ourselves further behind because we've been pacified and we've been neutralized by people who look like us, who've been put in place and position to keep us in place and in check. So let's realize now today that there's nothing that we can ask, that we can expect from the oppressor. If that was so, we would have got it thousands of years ago, right? When they refused to leave us alone in Africa. So please, and they refused to leave us alone in the Americas for my American Indian heritage as well, right? So the indigenous tribes and people of the earth that are under this imperialistic, you know, colonizing mindset that invades every aspect of our humanity and our lives, let's stay together. Let's keep it pushing, Let's continue to stay focused and let's know that we have no true allies. We only have those who will pacify us long enough to continue to steal our talents, our gifts, and our abilities, and our natural resources out of the land in which we are due. But it's okay because the Creator is delivering judgment, the true Creator, not the one that you put into your idea of religion and your idea of an institutionalized way of believing and having faith. We don't need your institutions of faith. We have a connection with our Creator, our divinity. We can feel it. That's why we have things like rhythm and vibration and where we have the ability to just tap in and know what we need to do and go right when we feel we need to go right and go left when we feel we need to go left. So all my people, wake up from this nonsense. Wake up from this false imprisonment that we find ourselves in, this mental captivity that we find ourselves in, which is fortified on every side by every single industry and way of life that we see and that we can have easy and ready access to in this land. None of it is for us. I'm telling y'all, none of it. Not a single bit. If it's a whole lot of truth, look for the little bit of poison, the little bit of lie that it's laced with, because that's what's going on out here. And we need to stay awake and stay alert and know that we are our only allies. All the rest, no matter how deadly or not, enemies, sheer enemies. Whether they just want to continue to leech off of our talents and gifts, or they want to keep us from the truth. Just because, I'm not a bad person anyway. I just want to get my industry. I want to keep my industry going. I want to keep this going. I want to keep that going. It's all harmful. It doesn't matter. If you're not sharing and shedding light of the truth to our people, then you are harmful to us. And it's time that we stop accepting these harmful agents that have been sent to further destroy us. Stay woke.